Thank you, Ms. Anistet. So my name is Jaiden Hosey, and I am here to talk to you about my experiences through UPrep and CCA Dana. I would like to start with UPrep because that is where it all started. I started UPrep during 5th grade year, and some of you may know that dropping into school at a late start, especially in a random grade, can be a hard and difficult time. Luckily, I had 3 different teachers that helped me get through that time and motivated me to get me to where I am now. I'd like to start off by shouting out my math teacher, Miss Yosef. She was one of the most motivational teachers I have ever had, and she made sure that I worked hard and was always focused, and I thank her for that. Next, I'd like to thank my social studies teacher. She was also my science teacher. Her name was Miss Corkin. She was more strict than most teachers. But thanks to that, I was never lazy and I was always on time. Lastly, I'd like to thank my ELA teacher, Miss Belch. She was a very kind-hearted woman, and thanks to her, I always had a good time, and she gave me motivational talks when I felt like I couldn't do it. Next, I managed to graduate to 6th grade. During my CCA Dana year, I managed to go through 6th through 8th grade with flying colors, and I thank the teachers of UPrep for that. When I first entered 8th grade, I was coming out of COVID, and we had to do virtual learning. Some of you may know that learning virtually and then switching to a more physical learning plate was a difficult time. Seeing new people, physically learning the material, it was difficult. But I had the staff and the scholars to thank that I had the best 8th grade year ever. I'd like to first start out by shouting out my history teacher, Mr. K, or Mr. Kolewski if you want to be formal. He was a more gentle type of guy, and he wasn't as strict as most people would be when it came to charter schools like this. He had a different way of teaching us, especially when it came to quizzes and tests. He'd have us test and quiz each other, and we'd focus on the specific material that we needed to memorize, and that helped us because we were helping ourselves, and that let him know that he was doing his job correctly. Next, I'd like to shout out Miss Bennett. She was a very heavy role model, and she helped anybody who just felt down or felt like they weren't enough, and she got us through the day when we needed it. Next, I'd like to shout out my ELA teacher, Miss Hiram. She brought this sort of energy to the classroom that helped those of us who got bored or just it wasn't our day, and she helped us power through and go the extra mile. Lastly, and certainly not least, I want to thank my principal, Mr. Cooney. He is the reason why I'm up here giving this speech now, or that I'm talking in front of such a large crowd. And I thank him for helping me get over my fear of talking in front of crowds like this. Anytime there was an opportunity that he felt that might boost me to another level, he presented that for me. That includes my artistic skills, my academic, and my behavior. And I thank him for that. I thank all the teachers of this program, the staff members, and the students who attend, because if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be going to such a great high school. I'm going to be graduating from 8th grade next Thursday, June 16th, and I will be attending ACPA during the fall, and it is thanks to them. Thank you so much for your time. Have a great day.